Tsinghua student, right? Aesthetic study note. Although it might not be super aesthetic, but I'm gonna show you guys how a Tsinghua student write the study notes. So today I will be taking notes on the organic chemistry, and I love taking the organic chemistry notes because it's really good for me to remember all the reactions that is super complicated, and I want to see the mechanism at all once. So this is the notes that I took previously on, and this was like my final review for my midterms. And for the study notes, I usually use one black pen and thick pen and a highlighter. So I don't really use a lot of colors, but just in case to remember some important terms or important mechanisms, I love to use red pen. But for the rest of the part, I only use the black markers or black pens. And for organic chemistry, I use the yellow highlighter because yellow is one of my favorite colors, and I love studying organic chemistry. And let's start! Yay! So first, I'll be writing the big title in Chinese. Then I use the highlighter to draw a line right beside. So this is how I organize my notes by chapters, and use a little bit thinner pen right here and write the chapter. Alcohol. Today I will be writing notes on the alcohol, and if this is important after the midterm. Then I start writing my notes. And this is the pen that I use for taking notes. It's just a black ink pen. You can use any of the pen that you like. And for the notes, I love to study in my own language, Korean, because a lot of time I get so confused using so many languages. Mostly all the courses are taken in English or Chinese, and mostly Chinese, but a lot of time I get really confused because I love to watch YouTube videos that help me understanding after taking notes or while I am doing homework or assignment. So just in case to understand, after all, I like to write all the notes mostly in Korean. The chemical and physical properties of alcohol, and now I'll be writing the basic reactions of alcohol, and now I will be using a red pen. The reason why I use two different pens for the reaction reactions is that I have to write some important mechanisms, and in chemistry, like the reaction and mechanism is all about moving of electrons, and for moving the electrons it is better for me to write in a different pen and see different arrows. So for you, if you are not studying chemistry but if you have important notes that you have to see clearly and be organized neatly, I recommend you to use another pen with a different color, maybe red, it can be or blue or green, whatever your favorite color, and it will be much easier for you to see or find important terms or any reactions for any of your subjects. And this is my first page of the organic chemistry note for the alcohol part. Although there are some like empty spaces here, I just move on because when I am studying for finals or midterms, I might be writing further notes here when I go study more. So I just leave the empty part just in case, and I will just move on to the next page. So I kind of finished my writing, my notes for now on. So like this part was like the very basic part of the alcohol, so it finished kind of early. But like some important parts that I want to point out is that I like to use the parentheses or the brackets to highlight the little titles, like the chapter titles, to just see some important or different mechanism or different reactions for my organic chemistry. And for the other notes, I can show you some examples as well. And now here are some other notes from different subjects. So first one is the biochemistry. So biochemistry is all about memorizing, and before the exam the professor like points out important terms or important parts of what we have learned, and I love to write all the important terms or important points the professor mentioned in one note, and I like to use like the red pen or red pencil, color pencil, to mark important terms that I definitely have to remember. And this is how I remember all the important terms of biochemistry, which is basically all about memorizing. Next one is like chemical system engineering, and it was kind of like studying mathematical or Laplace, and it was all about calculations of mathematics, and there were so many difficult equations that I had to remember. So basically I took some notes on it that is very, very important, and some different ways to calculate, and I made it into one short note, or just give some examples as well. So for this one, I actually didn't really know how to memorize this method, so I gave an example of by myself. For this one is the same. I always gave an example on my notes, so right before the exam I can review and see how these all different methods would work. And these methods or these equations or examples are all from the textbook that I had to remember, and I got really good marks on it. And this one is also done. Oh yeah, this one is the transmit process, like 传递过程流体力学. So I have super duper a lot of equation here, and there are so many things that I have to remember. And this much of the paper was the note that I took before the midterm, and this one was all I had to remember before the midterm. And here I write some examples like other notes, and mostly are the same, that I watch YouTube videos to fill up some of the difficult part that I didn't understand during the class. And I always give examples, write examples, solve a lot of problems, and draw a lot of pictures for it. And for the red pen, I use some of the terms, and because it's an equation, I like to use the red pens to point on the different equations, and I don't really love to use other different pens. And for writing or drawing some models or pictures, I like to use the sticky notes, and that is transparent, and it's much easier for me to draw some lines. And this is it. And for the last one, this one was half open test, like 半开卷考试. So I could bring 2 pieces of A4 paper, but before, 2 A4 paper is not a lot for most of the engineering students. So mostly I write or draw or give examples and solve a lot of problems during or before the final exams, and write most of the important equations on the paper sheet that I can bring, like the cheat sheet that I can bring to class or I can bring to the exam. And most of the important terms or whatever, I always write on the notes and review repeatedly before the exam.
And this is how I write notes. Bye!